You can ask it a lot of different ways. How much can I make? How quickly can I make it? How much is it going to cost me? I mean, and every time you answer one of them, usually you have two more money questions coming up.
Hey, good morning, everybody. Terry Coker with my friend Ray Fanning for a franchise feedback. Easy for me to say, Ray.
Good morning, everyone, and good morning to you, Terry.
We are franchise matchmakers, right? We help people find franchises. So if you're looking to be a small business owner, elaborate on what we do, Ray.
Terry, we get to help people when they are trying to identify and then do a really solid due diligence on what are the available franchise business ownership options out there. Step by step.
Here's a quick trivia question. How many franchises are there in the U.S. marketplace? Give or take, right?
Give or take, I've heard the numbers anywhere from 3,000 to 4,000 different franchise opportunities out there across over 77 industries is what I've heard.
3,000 to 4,000. So you can jump on Google and spend weeks on the internet, or you can call one of us and we'll help you go from 4,000 down to 150, down to a handful that are perfectly matched for you. And so one of the questions, that we get on a regular basis when we start a conversation is, okay, how much money can I make with a franchise? Have you ever heard that one, Ray?
Heard that many a time, Terry, almost every single day.
Yeah, almost every day. The other question I hear is, what's the hot franchise, right? Because if it's hot, it's obviously making money. That's the assumption, not necessarily how we get to that number. So when you start working with somebody and you hear that question, Ray, how much money can I make? What counsel do you give your candidates?
Well, Terry, I love it when I get the money questions because it's an opportunity to really think about what we're doing. And what we normally go back to is, first of all, how do we find out? And we go back to the fact that this is an informed decision-making process and finding out about the money. And these are all money questions. You can ask it a lot of different ways. How much can I make? How quickly can I make it? How much is it going to cost me? I mean, and every time you answer one of them, usually you have two more money questions coming up if experience tells me anything here. So we go back to the fact that it's a process. And the way to do this and make sure you don't miss anything is to use the process and go step by step and get the information. There's lots of sources of information. There is the FDD, the franchise disclosure document, very important. You can see some information in there. They may disclose an item 19, they may not. There's an item 7, which talks about your investment. Don't worry about these terms right now. We'll get there. But there's information in that document. Where the rubber hits the road. Go.
The money information in the legal documents, the FDD, comes from the franchisor. Okay?
Correct.
And they can't put the information into their legal document unless they have substantiation, right? Some data that they can verify that they can put in. Now, there's an inherent problem there. The range is usually very large. So if you have a more mature franchise company, it's been around, 20 years, right? You have franchisees that started in the beginning, right? They should have much larger numbers, 2 decades worth of building a customer base versus somebody that started a couple years ago. So the range that you're going to find in the legal document is usually a pretty large range and may or may not be helpful, right, Ray?
Right. It goes back, Terry, though, that it's about going through the process because you have to delineate, you have to dig and find out what is the actual investment more actual for you. So you'll look at that range. Am I going to join and do one territory? Am I going to join and do multiples? Am I going to start, more as just myself and one truck or one territory? Or am I going to do multiples? And your entry point does determine it. Again, where you get that information, though, multiple sources. One that I know you coach people on, and as I do as well, is to go to the source. Talk to as many franchisees as you can in many different situations of where they are. What do I mean by that? They've been in the system for 20 years and there's information to be learned from them. They've been in the system for 6 months, 2 years, 5 years. They've gotten really big. They're incredibly successful. They're really successful and they're smaller. Maybe they're struggling. there's many stories to be told. Your job is to dig through, get the information, and then be able to apply it to yourself, your skill sets, your aptitude, your particular areas.
And I think
Does that make sense?
yeah, it makes perfect sense. It's an absolutely spot on answer. And I think the thing for our viewers to keep in mind is there aren't push button answers, right? You can't look up McDonald's, push a button, and find out how much money that you're going to make, because there are McDonald's in Alabama, and there are McDonald's in Oregon, and there are McDonald's in, downtown New York City, and, they're all over the country. And so that's different, right? Geographical, timing considerations, build out costs, all of that. So we will teach you, as part of what we do, how to find the answer to that question. And it's a multi-step process that requires investigation. All right, that's what we do. So what we do for these franchise feedback sessions is we pull a question out of the mailbag and we try and answer it. We're going to come back on our next session and stay on this money topic for a little while. So if you want to talk to us about how much money can I make, what franchises, should I look at, anything else, that's on your mind, leave a comment down below, direct message us. If you would like a document, okay, we have all of these money type questions on a document. If you want that, we'd be happy to send that to you. And we will be back in our next version of franchise feedback. And we really thank you for being here. Okay, think of anything else, Ray, that I haven't mentioned?
No, Terry, that's great. If you want the one-page document on this, please just ask for it below. We'd be happy to send it to you.
All righty. Talk soon.